The dedication we go through to record a video. Welcome to the channel, welcome to this video. It is the 2051 season. We're going to review the end of the transfer window. There is an insane amount of transfers happening. Now, I did it again. Wearing a yellow t-shirt. I don't get how yellow goes invisible when it's my green screen, which it's matched to the colour. But whatever. So, we're going to start by looking at the rankings at the end of the season. I'm looking forward to FM23 when we have a series which runs parallel to the rest of the European calendar, because then we will be reviewing this at the end of the season, or the start of the season. The end of the season we'll review that, and it just matches better. So the competition wise, we remain in 21st in terms of the league. We can have a look at the ranking there and see that we are just behind the Croatian top flight, the Ukrainian, the Swiss top flight. So we are rising slowly. In terms of AB, we have moved up to 17th place in the European club rankings. 4 place rise, just behind Porto, Inter, and then Milan, Real Betis, Blackburn up in 12th, Tottenham. You can see Man United top, Newcastle, Barcelona, Man City, Leipzig, Real Madrid, PSG, Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Cologne, Tottenham, Blackburn, and then etc. etc. Liverpool, Leicester are in 19th place, for example. In terms of the coefficient ranking, then we are in 18th place, and currently we're going to go into next season on 29.875. Nobody below us is going to overtake us. We will overtake Liechtenstein unless they have a really good season again. So we would move up to 17th, and obviously a good season for us could potentially see us move up even higher. Oh damn, that's a good coffee. That's a good coffee. So, European rankings are done. Let's check out our Champions League run, see if we do get to the groups. The dedication as well, by the way, it's 2:30 on a Sunday afternoon. The missus is cleaning the bathroom while I record a video, because this video needs to go out this week, and I fell behind due to enjoying my summer vacation by redesigning the kids' bedroom. It's not really a summer vacation then, is it? So we started off against Sheriff, a 3-0 victory, with Inderberg getting 2 and McKengo getting on the score sheet as well. Before in the second leg, with a very heavily rotated side, we managed to get a 3-2 victory to see us into the next round. We then came up against Breiðablik from Iceland. We got a 3-1 victory in the first leg. Inderberg with 2 and David Silva with 1. We then went into the second leg, rotated fairly heavily again, got a 3-2 victory with Inderberg, Silva and Meng on the score sheet. And we've just played Celtic. We got a 5-1 victory in the first leg. Silva, Graham with 2, McKengo and Craven on the score sheet. And then we've just lost 5-3 to them in the second leg. Mufasa, Craven and Shouldermoose on the score sheet. Going through 8-4 in aggregate saw us into the Champions League group phase. Now I did see a few of the transfers actually got on the score sheet and stuff during that recap. Maybe we should have done the transfers before this bit, but we'll look deeper into them in a second. So our Champions League groups for this season then, we're going to be playing Blackburn at home, Leipzig away, Rosenborg at home and Rapid Wien at home. So I do see 3 games we could get something in there. Chelsea away, before we play Newcastle at home, Arsenal away. So we do play 4 English sides there before finishing away to Basel. So I think when you go through it there, Blackburn home, I would like 3 points there. Leipzig away, I'm not sure. Rosenborg and Wien at home, so there's 9 points. Chelsea away, maybe we can get a point. Home to Newcastle, say a point there, so that would take us to 11 points. Away to Arsenal, I probably wouldn't see anything there. And then Basel away, maybe we can get a victory there, which would see us up to 14 points, which should see us through in the top 8, maybe? I'm not sure. I think it's a decent group stage. Let me know what you think. I do see possibilities. Now, in terms of the outs, there's been some big players going out. So the first one to go out is Franklin for 47.5 million. Really didn't want to lose him, but he did want to go. He had 2 years left his contract. I did want to hold on to him. But the problem was, when I rejected the Gladbach bid first off, he then got upset, which then all of the squad said they were unhappy with my treatment of him. So at that point, I always say, if you don't want to be there, I'll let you go. At this point, we did just end up letting him go. So he's gone for 47.5 million. It was a slight loss after paying 55, but sometimes you got to just let that happen. Kim Harder went to Luton Town for 12.5 million, signed for 5, sold for 12.5. Now this sale meant both our centre-backs have gone in this window. Mark Quadson, aged 28 now, has ended up leaving us to Crystal Palace for 45.5 plus 50% of next sale. Hopefully that next sale is back to us, because it is very upsetting to see him go. Both of our centre-backs leaving is a kick in the teeth, which I really didn't want to happen. Now the final big out is Inderberg going. There was talk to rename him Paul, but unfortunately he has ended up leaving us, so that renaming does need to happen. 29 million. It's very upsetting that he's left us. He was a very talented attacking midfielder, did settle in that attacking midfield role really well, but paid 16.75, sold for 24 2 seasons later. It's disappointing, but they are the outs. There's a lot more outs loan-wise, a lot more loans going to clubs in our league. You can see quite a few of them there. Some of these players will pop up on the ins. We'll obviously discuss the fact they've gone straight out on loan. A couple of the sales, Montel Roberts went to Reading for 1.5 million, Owen Bates for 2.1. They were free transfers who came in. Bidstrup has gone to Sunoi. He is now actually available to play for the national team. The fact he's on loan at Sunoi, I think, meant that he then gained the citizenship due to that bug for us. But yeah, that's the outs. Let's move on to the ins. So there's a lot of ins to look at. So the first one is Frode Dahl, signed from Scala for 1 million. Probably never going to develop into something we want, but I needed to give Scala a bit of money. So it was valued at 100k, we paid 1 million for him. The next one is Junior Zwane, a 18-year-old South African. Picked up for 2.5 million, can play left back or centre back. I think it's a good bit of business. Rotation player, has played a couple of games for us, but mainly is a backup. Coming in from Chelsea for 5.5 million is Johnny Bradley. Comes in as a breakthrough prospect contract, 21 years old now. I'm training and play from the left-hand side, the right-hand side as an inside forward. I think he's a talented player for the future. Coming in for 1.4 million from Tottenham, 19 years old. Left wing-back coming in as an option. I think he's really talented. Attributes in all the right areas. For 1.4 million. Breakthrough contract, I think it's a deal we had to do. Now, a couple of free transfers we're going to pick through quite quickly. I don't think any of these will develop into first choice. Maybe this guy could, but brought in with the idea of loaning them out to other clubs within our league. McGinley, unfortunately, wouldn't go to any clubs in our league, but he's an option. He is playing for our B team this year. You've got Griffiths as well coming in from Bournemouth, again on a free transfer like McGinley. Cost nothing. We can move them on in a couple of years for good profit. This is the first one who came in on a free transfer who's actually gone out to a club in our league, to EB. Badadir Oner, he is Turkish stroke English, signed from Bournemouth on a free. Now we picked up this guy for 2 million from the Ivory Coast, and he's gone out on loan to Schalke to get first team football, and he is playing in the Bundesliga. So maybe next season he'll come back and maybe replace the likes of Inderberg and Franklin who's moved on. But the idea was to sign him and get him out on loan and just see if he can develop. But the fact he's gone out on loan to the Bundesliga does make me think we've got a good player here. Now, a player who popped up in a couple of the games, David Silva, come in for 14.5 million with the media description as a wonder kid. I have already retrained him in the short time he's been here as a Segunde Volante in the defensive mid position. He's very, very talented, very all-round, very good physicals, mentals and technicals. 20 years old, really impressed with this signing. Another player coming in on a free from Bournemouth again, Holle, defender again, potentially we can move him on. I'm trying to loan him out. Now, you would have saw Skoldermoose, central defender, was at the club before. We sold him for 6.5 million plus 50% next sale to Rennes. We've now signed him back for 500,000. Now, passing wise lets him down, and he is a weak link when it comes to that, but he is set as a no-nonsense centre-back when he does play. Has played a couple of games for us, featured in the Champions League as well, in the games where we've already qualified, so we put a weakened side out. And yeah, 500,000, valued up to 7 million already. I think it was a good bit of business bringing him back. Emil Mikkelson's gone on loan at MB. Again, another signing who we brought in with the idea of loaning him out to clubs in our league. Semi Silva was brought in from Bochum. He's a Bosnian defensive midfielder who had a lot of potential. He did feature in the under-19 squad of the year. Picked him up on a free transfer. Maybe he'll develop into something. Hopefully he'll stick around in the league when his contract runs out. That's my main thinking there. Now, this free transfer was interesting. 20 years old, breakthrough prospect contract. Comes in to play in the Segunde Volante role. And he fits it really well. Attribute-wise, everything fits. Only 20, English. Cost us nothing from Liverpool. I think this is an interesting deal, to say the least. Another free transfer joined us from Chelsea this time. 23 years old, so a little bit older. Again, retraining him on the left-hand side as an inside forward. Very talented. Ramuel Graham has played a few games for 6 games in the Champions League, 2 games in the league, 2 in the Cup. I think this is a decent signing, especially on a free transfer. Now, a couple of signings costing money to end the transfers in. Kenneth Nielsen came in as a central defender due to the fact that we lost quite a few central defenders. Comes in as a ball-playing central defender. Really, really talented. 23-year-old Danish. 8 million from Stabæk. I think it was money well spent. Then the final signing to replace Inderberg on the left-hand side as an inverted winger stroke inverted striker. Knut Emil Friedstad comes in from Berdeglin for 14 million, now valued up at 33 million. Very good physicals, good technicals, decent mentals. Really impressed by that signing. We've ended up spending 64 million with 128 million coming in this year so far. Financially, we have 183 million in the bank. We are 9 million in the red this year due to the amount going out each week on our wages, etc. But financial fair play wise, we're very secure now, which is good. I was a bit concerned about our financial fair play early on in the summer. We have a decent squad. Centre-back wise, I think we are still weak. Peter Clean is one of our first choice centre-backs now, has just signed a new deal as well. So yes, we've lost Mark Quadson and Harder, but Peter Clean coming through the academy is easily good enough to step into one of them starting central defence positions. And having a academy playing central defence and an academy player as our main goalkeeper, I've just been rotating the squad, that's why there's a lot of players not in the position correctly. But having a academy central defender and an academy goalkeeper is very, very nice. This tactic is working well, and with Inderberg going, Makengo has been playing in that attacking mid position, and then Mufasa up top, so we've not weakened ourselves. We look very, very strong. 100%, really, really pleased with how it's looking. Now, we did win the Super Cup again, a 5-1 victory over Vikingur Goethe, and if we look at the league campaign, we're looking very, very solid. Won 18, drew 2, lost none, plus 76 goal difference. If we go into the stages side, we scored 79, we've only conceded 3 goals in 20 games. So this tactic is working. Our squad is still solid, even though we've lost a few players out of it. There's been a lot of rotation this year in terms of the players in and out. So it is going to take a bit of time now to get used to the squad again. I'm hoping over the next 12 months there's not really many players out or in. I am trying to reject deals most I can. So like Inderberg, I was rejecting till the whole squad kicked up a fuss and said, you have to let him go. He wants to leave, let him leave. And that was when I decided we would let him go. In terms of the other teams, how they're doing in Europe this year. So KI have the Conference League playoff game coming up. Sorry, the fourth qualifying coming up against Slovan Bratislava. They lost the first leg 2-0. They did go through against Dynamo Batumi, a 2-0 victory at home, 2-0 victory away. And they did also go through in the first leg against Northman. So they are doing fairly well. They've got through a few rounds there. Viking Goethe are also in, and they are coming up against Trabzonspor at home. They lost 1-0 away, so they do have the possibility to get through to the next round. They, well, have done fairly well, to be honest with you. They beat Young Boys in the Europa League before going out to Koper, so maybe they can knock out Trabzonspor. That game must be in a day's time. And I think the other team was EB, was it, who were in Europe? It wasn't EB, it was Ness. And they went out to Belarusian side, Shakhtar Toy. So unfortunately, they've gone out straight away. Coefficient-wise, us going through and them doing okay means we have got 3.75 points so far this season, which sees us go up to 33.625, which would see us overtake Croatia. It would see us overtake Scotland. It would also see us overtake Liechtenstein. So we could potentially be going up into 15th place for next season. Now that is quite big, because 15th place would see 2 teams into the Champions League, 5 teams in total. So we need to keep an eye on this, because the top 16 it is. The top 16 get 5 instead of 4. So we are very, very close to going to 5 teams qualifying for Europe instead of 4, and 2 teams being in the Champions League. So second place could potentially be getting Champions League football from 2053. It's very close, it's very tight, it's very exciting. We do have the final of the Cup coming up as well. We're a couple of years away from being able to ask for a new stadium, 2054, I think that's going to be available, 25 years after the last build. So thank you for watching. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. We will continue to push on with AB, and I will see you next time.